Hey everybody, welcome to Kitchen Talk with Granna. I'm so glad you guys can come up into the kitchen with me today. I hope everybody's having a great day so far, but you guys know what the routine is. Before we get started with our conversation for today, I need you to go ahead, down there at the bottom of your screen, go ahead, look on down there, right on down there. I need you to take care of that thumbs up button, and I need you to share my video with all your family and friends. And if you have not became one of Granna's followers, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become one of my followers, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get the conversation going for today, okay? We're gonna talk about the memorial and the funerals that was given in honor of George Floyd, his memorial and his funeral, okay? Last week they had 3 different memorial and funerals for him. They started out in Minneapolis, and then they flew his body to North Carolina and they did a memorial service there, and then they flew him to Houston, Texas for his final memorial and funeral in his resting place next to his mother out there at the grave site in Houston, Texas, okay? All the services, I did watch all 3 services, and they were, really nice service, really nice service. But I was really touched by the service that they had on Tuesday of last week out in Houston, Texas. The family spoke from their heart. They described their George, Big George, as the way he were to them. We as the world have seen his face posted on every TV channel there is, every network there is. We've seen his face posted, but we as the people outside looking in, we did not know George's heart. We did not know George's character. We only know what the police has put out there or what different people had said about him. But you really got to see the inside of George when his family spoke. And his niece gave she wrote this poem, and she talked about her big uncle. They referred to him as a gentle giant. Several family members referred to him as a gentle giant. So we had a chance to kind of look into who George was. And it was very touching. It was very touching listening to his aunt, listening to his brothers, his niece, and then there was several different speakers that came up and spoke. And, Neil was there. He sung a song to George. And there was several entertainers there, showing their support and being there for the family. And the part that really got me, and I know it was a funeral, of course it was going to get to me, and it was going to be sad moments and everything, celebrating the life of George Floyd, was when Reverend Al Sharpton spoke. I felt like he spoke a very great message. He broke it down, he really broke it down for people to understand. Of course, they was there to celebrate George's life, but his message was so profound. He talked about things that we need to continually to do to make changes. He talked about how when he was a part of the march, and back in the day, it's just crazy, when you sit back and you think about where things were 50 years ago, how they had to march just for the basic rights of a human being. And now today we're having to march and get out there just to stay alive, just to live. We have to be at this place, again, but now we're marching for our life. I mean, we was always marching for our life and our freedom and marching to have the same rights as the rest of the United States. But I mean, it's really, either you get out there and you speak up for our lives, or we're going to continue to lose our young people, our old people. You know, it doesn't even matter about the age. It doesn't even matter about the gender, because we're losing our young ladies just like we're losing our young men. But it was just a power. I thought it was a powerful speech. I really did. And it just really gave me some things to, even more things to think about, you know, because when those cops, when that cop had his knee on George, we was looking at him press the life out of George's body. We could see that happen. But if you think about it, if you really just sit back and think about it, we all have a knee on our neck right now. I mean, we have a knee on our neck when it comes to just trying to maintain a decent job, trying to get a decent job. We have a knee on our neck. It doesn't matter how much education we got. You can be the person interviewing with the highest education level that is required, and then you have another person over here interviewing that basically just got a high school diploma. Because of your skin color, they will give that position to the person that only has a high school diploma, instead of giving it to the black person that has all the recommendations, all the requirements. They have everything they need, including that master degrees or that PhD degrees, you know, whatever it is. They will give it to that person, that other race, other than giving it to an African American. I know that because I've seen that happen so many times. So that's the knee on your neck. They tell you to go out and work hard. You know, you do that. You work hard, you follow the rules, you abide by every rule that's set in front of you, but you still have a knee on your neck, because you never know when or if you're gonna get stopped and what the outcome of that's gonna be. You know, you have your elderly that has worked all their life, and they can hardly get the necessities that they need from our states. I mean, your Medicaid, your assisted living, you know, they done put in all this time and worked all their life, and they can barely get those benefits that should be entitled to them anyway. You know, they have a knee on their neck with that. You know, you teach your kid how to be respectful. You teach your kid to respect the law, you know, but then when your kid go out, they got a knee on their neck because they don't know. You know, you have to tell them, don't make any certain move. When a cop pull you over, put your hands up, surrender. They do all those things, and they still have a knee on their neck. You know, George took George was one of the sacrifices that we had to lose, and we had to see his life being taken away from him for the whole world to open their eyes and see that this is wrong, to see that by this man pressing down on his neck, that was wrong. You know, I do believe that God has a plan for each and every one of us. And I do believe that that was the plan that he had for George. You know, we'll never understand it or even want to accept it. But I do believe that that was the plan that God had in place for George to open the eyes of the world, you know, and not just the United States. He had George to go through that and to be taken home or taken out of this world so that he could open the eyes of the world to see that this has got to stop. This has got to stop. People have got to stop being judged because of the skin of their, color of their skin. You know, we don't choose what color we're gonna be when we're in the womb or when we're getting ready to come into this world. You know, we don't get to choose that. You know, and men do not blow breath into a infant or a fetus when they're forming in a woman's womb and they're getting ready to develop. Man has nothing to do with that. You know, they help plant that seed, but God controls all that. God blows breath into man's, God blows breath into every human being. So God should be the one to take that breath away from them. It should not be as easy as it has been all these years for a cop or a policeman or anyone with hatred in their heart. Anyone, not just policemen, not just, anyone that has hatred in their heart, because look what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. Those was not policemen that killed him. Those was just regular people, that killed him, even though the father had some type of affiliation with the police department or detective or whatever the case he might have been. But it was not his title that the reason behind him taking Ahmaud's life. He took Ahmaud's life because of the hatred in his heart. So people need to get that hatred out of their hearts. They need to get that hatred out of their hearts and stop looking at people for the color of their skin and look at people for their heart. It's just really crazy in this in 2020 that this is continuing to happen. I think this will definitely cause a change, but there are so many ways that we can make a change. And a lot of the ways, one of the main ways that we can make a change in this world is we got to go out and vote. I mean, people, we got November coming up. You're gonna be hearing more about the Democrats and the Republicans. You're gonna hear about them debating and all this and that. And when you go to the poll, that's your business. You vote for whoever you want to vote for. But I'm telling you, if we do not get out to the poll and voice our opinion that way, we're never gonna get ahead anyway, because a lot of the corruption is coming from the top. It's coming out of the White House. It's coming out of these different parties, okay? It's coming out of all these different parties. It's coming out from our main people that's supposed to be running this world. That's where a lot of this hatred is coming from. And a lot of it is just plain as day. But when you start talking about politics, that's a whole different situation. That's when everybody want to jump on everybody when it comes to this politics. So I'm not going to really get into it, but I'm just saying, we need to get out and vote. All these thousands of people that George Floyd brought together to get justice for him need to be these same people that come November that go to the poll and vote. They had an election over in Georgia last week. I think it was on last Tuesday when they was doing George funeral. And then just with that, they started having all type of problems with the election machines and all this, and people couldn't get a chance to vote and all that. That's the sign telling you right there, you better watch out and be careful, because they already setting up these booby traps and these traps and all this not to get all these votes counted. And that's how I feel about that. I feel like they're going to do whatever they need to do to keep the party they want in there. They're going to try to prevent our voice from being heard. But unless we show up as we did to bring the justice and open up the eyes of George Floyd murder, then we're going to be done went through all this for nothing. I mean, that was good what everybody's doing. That is good what everybody is doing, trying to get the justice brought to Ahmaud. People didn't get a chance, or people didn't get out there and protest or really get into it with what happened with Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor. I mean, all these people have lost their life, and that did not open the eyes of this world. So we need to take advantage or definitely stay on top of it now that we have this platform going. The platform is there. People are listening. People are trying to figure out what they need to do to make this right. We need to keep it going, and we need to get out there and vote. I really feel for the Floyd family. Of course, like I said before, all my blessing goes out to them. All my prayers goes out to them, and I continue to pray for them and hope that they're able to bring themselves together and continue to stick together as a family, okay? But, at the funeral, Trayvon Martin mother was there, Eric Garner mother was there, Ahmaud Arbery's father was there. So there was many people there to celebrate George's life. I just hope we continue to move forward from that and continue to make a difference that I know we can make. Okay. All right. I'm going to get up out of here, but you guys have a great day. You know, make sure you're still wearing your mask. COVID-19 is still out there. It's still killing people. People still getting infected with this disease. So just be careful out there. Have a great day and just try to live your best life and just be kind to everybody. You know, just be kind and don't forget to vote. If you have not registered, go get registered and be ready to go to the poll come November. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. You have a great day. Bye.